Either you save your friends, or you give them a way to fight back. Oh, this was... Oh! Now here it is! Revolution!
Excellent. You see, you're capable of making these hard decisions after all.
I tried to pick Damara so many times, but then the game said, alright, we're not gonna be around the bush. Freedom or revolution? Revolution.
Now, of course, you'll still have to prove to me that you fully understand your place in the narrative, in the timeline of events.
Oh, of course. That means you'll be playing the game again?
Not exactly the same game, but yes, essentially.
What? What?
I'll give you some time to prepare yourself and discuss the situation with the others. Let me know when you're ready to prove your worth.
What? Well, shit. You stand there for a few minutes, or you suppose what feels like a few minutes longer, staring at the portal in front of you at the doorway that leads you back home. You got no idea how you're going to actually accomplish any of this, given the fact that Scratch is still likely to be rigging the hell out of the game, but when have increasingly impossible odds ever stopped you before? True. Slowly, you find yourself on the way back down the stairs to the parlor, where you see Damara sitting quietly on the couch and Trizza pacing back and forth nervously in the room.
What did Mr. Scratch say to you?
That's complicated. You might actually need a few minutes to think this one out. Actually, Damara nods and shrugs it to say we got all the time in the world.
I need to speak with you. Alone.
Okay. Trizza pulls you around a corner, far enough away from the parlor that you're pretty sure that Damara can't overhear. She leans in, an expression on her face that you're having a hard time figuring out.
You've seen it too, haven't you? The bleed through.
This is kind of freaking you out, actually. Does she want to maybe get outside and get some air? Maybe she's just feeling cooped up. Trizza shakes her head quickly, but she walks towards the door and leaves the mansion without saying another word. Is she doing okay? You know things are weird and bad right now, but you're in the process of making a plan to get out of here.
I think I understand why you were so shocked when you saw me. Beyond me being the heiress. You saw it, didn't you?
Saw what? Trizza glares at you and turns away, staring up at the dull gray sphere of Alternia in the distance. You can't help but wonder what version of Alternia you're actually seeing, or if it's a weird superstate of all versions of Alternia at once.
Don't act stupid. Versions of people that don't exist. Someone else's memories.
That old familiar chill runs up and down your back, and for a second, you see it. The smiling face, backlit by a burning city. The eyes that don't feel anything anymore. The woman who diverged so many sweeps in the past. But you've never seen any of this. Have you?
It doesn't matter. Some version of you has, in some way.
Trizza paces out towards the edge of the strangely cultivated lawn that surrounds the mansion, head down.
How do I know that version of me isn't the real one? The one that's most true?
You're not sure what to say to her. This is still something that you're struggling with, understanding the timelines and alternate versions of reality. But also, maybe it doesn't matter? Trizza looks at you suspiciously. No, shit, you gotta explain yourself now. Okay, so the thing is, you know, we became Ultimate. We may be Ultimate Reader. We may be the Alt Reader. So here's the thing is, what does it even matter? This is her reality right now, right? Trizza nods silently. There is something weird about this place in particular. It's like someone drew in on a piece of paper before, and the ink bled through onto the next page. It's not a distinct or clear picture, though you see some echo of what happened before.
That seems like an accurate way of putting it.
But what does it matter? Who cares what came before if it doesn't matter anymore? For all you know, the timeline never even got to the end. Maybe it got cut off prematurely, forever doomed to never get its final word in.
It's easy for you to say. I'm assuming you've never had visions of yourself committing mass murder.
Nope. Oh, not. Well, no, but also it doesn't matter. She hasn't committed mass murder at all. She has, in fact, worked very hard to change things for the better. Trizza barks out a short, harsh burst of laughter.
For the better? What a fucking joke. That rust blood in there? You think she deserves to live like this? You think she wants to serve that monster?
No, you definitely don't think she does. You don't think anyone deserves to live the way that Alternia makes them. Trizza nods slowly.
You're right. Which is why I can't leave them behind, no matter what you're planning.
Oh no, she's not the first person you met who doesn't want to leave Alternia, but you get the stinking feeling that she isn't going to change her mind.
I'm not. These people, I care about them. I was trying to do something for them. Trying to work with.
She doesn't finish her sentence. We know exactly what she's talking about with Krydia, right? Trizza nods, tears welling up in her eyes.
I won't abandon them. And I'm not going to abandon Tamara. Come on!
Got it. Trizza turns and walks back inside, and you're left alone outside of the mansion, once again staring up at Alternia. For a second, you wish you knew how this all started, but you feel like that part of your memory will never really come back to you. So it seems there are two Trizzas in different timelines, a good one and an evil one because of multiverse shenanigans. Yep, the evil one being the one we see in Hiveswap, and this one here that we have in Persterquest, Jesus Christ, in Friendsim 2. And really, what does it matter? You're here now, and here is where you are. Or something like that. You're about to head back into the parlor to let Trizza and Damar know exactly what the deal is as far as getting the fuck out of here, but you stop when you hear their voices from the other room.
I'll find a way to get you out of here. You deserve to be free.
No, I'm not going to leave. I know about his bargain, the thing he offered the alien.
His what?
And I know that you're not going to leave with them. You'd never leave Alternia behind, would you?
There's a space in the words, and you can practically hear Trizza's thinking.
I'm not even originally from your version of reality, but I still care about everyone down there so much.
This is all insane anyway. What the fuck are you talking about? Scratch offering the alien a deal?
Well, seems like time for you to step in. Yes, this is true. So actually, about that.
He made a deal with you. Except, it wasn't you making a deal at all. You get to take the Ares, but in exchange, I remained here.
When she says it, you feel a stab of pain in your heart over the choice. The idea that you're going to leave this teenager here in exchange for...
Stop. What choice did you actually have? Leave one person with him, or leave the other? Either way, someone suffers. Someone always pays. And he always wins.
It doesn't matter. Because I'm getting you off this fucking rock.
Of course. Because you would sacrifice your own freedom forever if it meant saving even one other person. Because in this timeline, that's who you are.
Trizza shifts uncomfortably in place and looks away. And you find yourself wondering how Damar knows so much about any of this. She keeps talking, completely ignoring you. Yep, house
None
always
of it
wins.
matters because you won't be convinced not to stay behind. And I don't want to leave.
What is she talking about? Staying behind with Scratches, it's horrible.
I never said that. You need to come with me. Both of you.
What? Once more, the dark under the house wraps itself around you as you crawl forward on your hands and knees. Up ahead, you know Damara is there, with Trizza falling close behind you both. Right now, for this slice of a few minutes, you're basically alone in the darkness. What are you even doing here? Why did you come back here? What made you think that you could ever make a difference in any of their lives? The dim light of the crawl space slowly creeps up on you until the clutter of the room resolves itself.
You're back.
She frowns and looks back and forth between you, Damara, and Trizza, and the recognition of her face is unmistakable.
He said something, didn't he? He made you an offer.
You think you fucked up. Scratcher's gonna let Trizza go, but he needs someone to stay behind as his apprentice. Boulder looks at Damara, who let her head drop.
It's fine. I knew I was never going to leave anyway. And they shouldn't have to stay here because of me.
No, you can't accept this. You may have just met them, but you don't want either Trizza or Damara to stay behind. It just seems like a choice of which traumatized women you want to sacrifice, and that doesn't feel great.
Well, what are you willing to do about it? How far are you willing to go?
Huh? You look closely at Trizza, and you can see a grim smile playing on her face. What's going on?
I was wondering if you might take that path.
Oh, you know what, Eric? You're kind of right. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, are we going to go in their place? Wait, what path? What is she talking about? Trizza nods and steps forward.
We're going to kill Scratch. Whatever he is, he's alive right now. I'm sure there's a way for him to die.
Damara stands there with her mouth hanging open, a look of absolute shock on her face. You find yourself empathizing a bit with how she's feeling because this feels more than a little bit insane.
No, I think it's a way forward.
Good company.
Maybe it won't go quite where you expect, but...
Boulder's like, this may not be a good idea, but fuck it, we ball.
Fuck that. I don't care. He dies tonight.
Okay, if you're serious about doing this, you'll need to beat his game.
How does she know about that? Boulder shrugs and winks at you.
I know lots of things. call it the gift of sight.
Just call you being mysterious is what it is.
I know about his games. He might not lie, but he's happy to cheat as much as he can.
Which is why you cheat right back. Why let him set the terms for everything?
Real. You don't really see where you get much choice in the matter, actually. In spite of your best efforts, you know basically nothing about what you're facing here.
There's ways I can help you. But first, you have to answer a question.
Okay, you don't like the way she says that?
Do you remember the shadows in the white room?
Yes. You feel your entire body freeze up. If you had hair follicles, then you'd be covered in goosebumps right now. How? What? Why does that sound so familiar?
I think you should relax and try to remember.
Deep dive. Open up your senses. So you're back again. Here at the end of all things. Here at the very beginning. Wait a minute, you remember this. You remember her voice from the start of the game. She told you about the tragedy and... Maybe this isn't a tragedy. You're having a really hard time believing that. People got hurt. You hurt people. You couldn't even begin to save everyone. Why does that matter to you? Because they're hurt. Everyone is in so much pain all the time, so hurt by the world they have to live in. They deserve to be free, for the system to be fixed so they're happy. You can't fix what isn't broken. And Alternia isn't broken. It serves the very purpose it was made for. But that purpose sucks! I agree. And yet, it's not our responsibility to finish the work, but neither are we exempt from it. So what would you do? Help them defend themselves. You can help them fight. You're going to get your powers back and you help them stand up against Scratch and the Empire. What if I told you that your powers are never coming back? Would that change how you feel? No! You'd still spend every second you're alive trying to help them, because that's who you are. Because you spent too long seeking something that always felt like it was just out of reach. Every day you're alive, the very act of living is a chance to unmake your world and build it back up again. And maybe sometimes, the world deserves to be unmade.
What happened to them?
Don't worry. They'll be coming around soon enough.
Okay, but what happened?
I think they remembered something.
Oh shit. Yeah, you could say that. You remember everything. The way that time looped around and around itself, the council and their vague advice, the sense that this was all supposed to help you accomplish something. But what the hell does it matter? They're gone now. They don't have any more influence over this world, so how can any of this possibly help you? They're gone now? Theory Doc Scratches in the alternative timelines reader, and the reader's the OG timeline Scratch. Interesting. That's possible. It's all possible until we see it for realsies.
Because I found this.
Boulder rummaged around one of the piles of junk that are scattered around the room. Finally, she emerges with a wrinkled sheaf of papers. There's something about it that feels wrong. What is this? Boulder leans in close and passes the papers over.
Do not show this to anyone else, including those two.
You don't understand why. Oh, holy shit. This can't be real. There's no way this is real. Huh? The script for this volume? You skim down the page, looking at the words printed neatly in 12-point Courier New font. You can't believe what you're seeing, but...
It's all there, right? Everything.
What the hell are you two doing over there?
Trizza starts to walk towards you. You put your hand... Wait! She can't come over. Just please, she needs to trust you. Reluctantly, Trizza stops and shakes her head.
Fine, just make it quick. Gotta figure this plan out.
This cannot possibly be real. There's no way anything like this exists.
And yet, you're holding it in your hands. Maybe you don't understand your place in this world as well as you thought.
What the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck? This is some straight fucking Jonathan Joestar. Your next line is, but it's the entire volume. You put the papers down and stare at Boulder. How does this help you?
Scratch was never playing fair. His questions had answers you couldn't possibly know, or answers that weren't answers at all. But with this, things are different.
Oh shit, is she saying you can literally change the script? Boulder shakes her head, looking dejected.
No, I tried that already. It always just changes back. But I think there's another way.
You are all ears at this point. Like, if a person could be comprised entirely of functional ears, you'd be that person. Gross as fuck.
Why are you so weird?
We've been asking that for ever so long, Boulder. We don't know.
I think that there's a chance I can adjust some things in the game room to make the game fair, at least.
W. Okay, but he's probably still gonna hit you with the weird questions you couldn't possibly know the answers to, like what's the name of the grub Bronya had in her pocket or something.
Of course. But I think that's where one final piece comes into play. I just need you to talk to Scratch for a little while. That's all.
That's a fucking Herculean task, girl. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. And she can't tell you why you're going to be talking to Scratch. A thing you should point out that you very much do not want to do.
No. You need to trust me. Talk to Scratch, then come to Damara's bedroom.
Brian had a grub in her pocket? Yeah, she had a grub in her pocket. I remember that. I don't remember what the color of the grub was, but there was a grub in her pocket. Multiple, in fact. She turns to Trizza and Damara and frowns.
You two. You need to get into place while I find Scratch.
For what you hope is the final time, you're in the dark space under the mansion. You don't want to have to pull all your faith in Boulder like this, not because you don't trust her, but because you just hate not knowing things. Real as fuck. They just like me for real. It would be so much easier if you just knew what the specific plan was. Maybe the plan is for you to not know. You pull yourself out from under the house and dust yourself off, looking once more up at the strange sight of Alternia in the sky. That grubs taste good. Huh? Bug Twinkies? Oh, hell no. You be munching up, they out here squealing and shit, and you bite their head off. Oh, hell. You think the red one would be like strawberry flavored? Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, anyway. As you look at it, you'll notice that there's something off about it. A lack of movement in the clouds, and a kind of haze hovering around the planet. Huh? What's that about?
What that's about is simple. As you may have already surmised from your discussion with my handmaid, this moon exists out of time. Any attempts to reach it from any given iteration of Alternia would have disastrous results.
Okay. That sounds pretty bad, actually.
Yes. You are quite correct that this would typically be seen as pretty bad. Although, it turns out to be a remarkably good way to cultivate the mythos surrounding my home. Now, why don't we take this conversation to a more pleasant environment? Now, my dear reader, have you had a chance to prepare yourself to attempt my test once more?
Almost, but you really wanted to ask him some questions first. You feel like it's really important to do that.
Oh, why is that, specifically?
You don't actually know.
Well, I suppose there's no
I don't know.
harm in
Okay.
indulging you for a short while.
Thank you.
You fascinate me, you know. This strange black hole in the scope of my perception. Wherever you go, it feels like there's this air of non-deterministic potential. Honestly, it sickens me.
It sickens me. Okay, cool. Well, you're not a big fan of his attitude either.
Don't misunderstand me. I have no qualms with you as a person.
Well,
It's
you
more
kinda
the
suck as well.
chaos that you represent. In any event, don't let your thoughts dwell on it. Ask me your questions, and I will provide you with the answers you seek.
W. Awesome. I've been saving 3 different times. I'm so nervous. Alright? So, what happens to Alternia?
A painfully vague question. Do you mean that in the cosmic sense? Or the specific case where you've been meddling lately?
Both?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, Alternia exists purely to facilitate the creation of the next universe, to fulfill the cycle that he belongs to.
Yeah, you know that one.
As to the specific slice of Alternia to which your friends belong, I would imagine that they'll eventually be killed. The Empire's vast, and it has little tolerance for deviation.
But your friends.
We'll all be dead. I fail to see how this is difficult to grasp. Really, the concept is exceedingly simple.
Okay, what happens to your Earth?
Oh? The Earth you've locked away to create a space for that handful of friends you had?
Yeah, you've been trying to make things better there by using your powers. Of course, you're not sure if you'll be able to do that anymore. But you want to make sure that everyone's safe. That was always what you wanted, to make sure everyone gets to be safe and happy.
I have no knowledge of your Earth, nor any claim to it whatsoever. Your previous actions splintered that particular branch off from the tree, as it were.
So it worked.
So rest assured that your little project of a world will remain forever out of my sight.
Did I choose the wrong option all this time? I've been doing nothing but revolution, and Bro says your people are all gonna die anyway due to this revolution. But if I just saved them, then you wouldn't really be having this problem. Well, good. You didn't want him coming out.
Why would I want to do that? From my perspective, it is little more than yet another doomed timeline I can ignore.
Alright. Why are you doing any of this? Actually, we already know this. Actually, we kind of don't. You just want to know what the actual purpose behind any of what he's doing is. It seems so pointlessly cruel.
Of course, you would see it that way. The curse of having a limited point of view.
Alright, then tell me, bruh. Damn.
If you saw things the way that I do, perhaps you would have a different opinion.
You're not actually sure about that. You've had the opportunity to see a few different points of view, and all it keeps coming back to is that he's hurting people.
People who scarcely matter in the cosmic scope. What was it your friend said? Our entire world exists against a cosmic void that is scarcely aware of us. So, my dear reader, what is the point of focusing on any given individual beyond their place in the larger plan?
You feel a pricking sensation all along your spine. Who said that? When did she say that? Wait, she? What else was it she said? We can choose to live the lives of those around us instead of letting them suffer in darkness. For that moment, at least we can give hope to others, and for that moment you have changed the universe. Who said that? I feel like I should know who that is, but I'm not sure who said that. Was it one of the writers? Was it one of the authors when you died? This sounds way too profound for anyone on Alternia, to be honest. This is probably one of the people when you died. Probably one of the people, more than likely. Huh.
How incredibly trite. It's your sentimentality that put you in this position to begin with. You would be wise to disabuse yourself of that particular burden.
About Damara.
What about her?
Why is he treating her like this?
What do you mean? She is my apprentice. It is important that she be properly prepared for her future role.
Yeah. He's torturing her. You know about how he makes her keep watching her friends die again and again.
That is not my fault. If she would simply comply with my wishes, then her life would be so much easier. It is critical that she be ready, and that kind of wanton disregard for
Calm
our
down,
work
we're
could
good
have
in there.
disastrous consequences.
But disastrous for who? You notice that Scratch doesn't respond to this right away.
That is unimportant. Regardless of what your opinions on the matter are, she has a role to play, and she needs to learn to play it.
Bruh.
And she will remain here and accept this role, as is befitting of my handmaid.
About Trizza. Was she a part of his plans, having her locked away in a tower and waiting for the day she would fight the Empress?
Of course. Perhaps not to the same degree that the handmaid was part of my plans, but the heiress always had a crucial role to play. Either she would rise up and become the next Empress, or fall and affirm the reign of her imperious condescension, or whatever she calls herself.
Or whoever the fuck she decides to be. Well, joke's on him. Now Trizza isn't gonna fight the Empress at all.
Oh? Is that what you think?
Oh, she absolutely will try to do that.
You don't see the fire that burns behind her eyes? The spark of hatred that exists within her? Do you think that other version of Trizza simply appeared out of nothing?
You don't like this. You don't like what he's saying to you. Scratch laughs.
Given the right set of initial conditions, she would be the very same person she's so deeply afraid of.
So I guess he's saying in every single version of these timelines, there is quite the high possibility that these characters act the way they do depending on certain circumstances. Okay. Kinda fucky, but I also kinda like it.
But I suppose that's a question you'll have to take up back home on Earth. I wonder what the heiress would make of the place.
This timeline stuff hurts your head. You're having such a hard time following it all the way that you keep getting these vague memories from things that haven't happened.
Not many individuals have been gifted with your unique properties. There are some side effects. Your sense of increased awareness is one of them.
But you don't even have your powers anymore. Shouldn't that make everything more normal?
My dear reader, some doors cannot be closed once they've been thrown open. You should keep that in mind. Now, I believe that we've spent more than enough time chatting. You have preparations to make.
He talks like he knows the power. It's quite possible he knows it. For a second, your heart jumps into your throat and you freeze up, but Scratch laughs.
After all, you'll be playing for higher stakes this time, and I wouldn't want you to fail so miserably again.
I can't wait for the fucking bulb to crack and for like MSP's reader's face to like show up behind it. That'd be so fucked. But I kind of like it.
When you're ready, I will be in the game room. I trust you can find your own way there.
You're standing in front of the Felt Mansion once more, blinking in confusion. You really hope that you gave Boulder enough time for whatever she was doing. You gather up your thoughts and begin to make your way back to the mansion. Hey, guess what? We're saving again. If you can believe it, I'm pushing the save button. You're back at the Mars room. You cautiously open the door and step inside. You're not sure how long Boulder needed to do her thing, but you gave her as much as you possibly could.
Thank you. I did everything to help you that I could. The rest is up to you and Trizza.
But wait, where is Trizza? Damara and Boulder look at each other nervously.
Scratch has her downstairs in his game room.
The rest of her plan is going to be harder with him watching her so closely.
It's not ideal, no, and you're not even sure what the plan is.
I'm sorry. It's important for you not to know the specifics. Just please, trust us.
Okay. Before you walk into the game room, you feel like your feet feel like they're freezing in place, and you stop to calm yourself. You can't fail this again. If you do, none of you are ever leaving this place. What choice do you have? You have no idea how Trizza thinks she's going to kill Scratch, but she seems completely committed to it. Basically, you're out of options. So you take a deep breath and step into the game room. On your way in, you nearly trip right over the stupid crowbar that Scratch used to try to kill you before. He just left it lying there up against the door from like an asshole.
Ah, my dear reader, you're just in time.
That crowbar will come in later, no doubt. You look over at Trizza, who scowls and shakes her head.
Don't mind her. I simply want to keep an eye on her while we conclude our business together. When this is complete, she will be as free as she's ever been.
You hate the way he says it. The way he twists the words around to be exactly what he wants to do without ever technically lying. But you don't have time for this right now. You're ready to play this stupid game. Hell yeah. We are ready to play this stupid game. I saved again. Can you believe it?
Excellent. Allow me to get set up. My dear reader, I have always strived to be fair with you.
Alright, let's lock it in, everyone.
Well, Doc, looks like our favorite contestant is back.
Indeed they are. We shall see if things play out differently this time.
It wasn't even close last time, but let's not give up hope yet. Anyone can make it big here on Persterquest 2. Now, let's get that score up on the board. Time to see how well you know canon, post-canon, and beyond.
Alright, bring it on!
Good luck. First question.
All right.
When were Limebloods introduced?
Fucking huh? No way.
I really thought you had it, but I guess not. It was a tricky one. Next one up is a real head scratcher. Who is the main character of hit
we know this
webcomic Homestuck?
It's technically both of these are right. You know what? Fuck it, I'll say June.
Ooh,
Bro,
are
they
but
transphobic?
That is not the right answer. I can't believe they missed that one.
I wanted to be funny. 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 I will admit, that's on me. I was like, they're both technically right, you know? So I wanted to choose the one that's like, maybe they thought, yeah, June. Why not? Bruh. Rigged, bro.
Our next question is... what is Doc Scratch's canon catchphrase?
What do you, it's a catchphrase? Up and away type looking ass. Oh, my dear reader.
Sorry, that was
you're so fake. You're so fake.
It was a tricky one.
You're so fake.
That's for sure.
You're so fake.
Next question's a bit tricky.
There's no way. Hey, Lifeline, hello? Ring a ding ding. Can I get some help here?
Where was Charon in Hiveswap Act 2?
Oh, hi. Motherfucker wasn't there. Dead, probably.
Oh no!
They weren't
You're
there!
Way off with that one.
Bruh.
Well, maybe next time. And now for
Bro,
our
can
next
I
question.
get a fucking...
Who is Tizius's canon boy rail?
We're talking canon? Technically, Tizius herself is not canon. It's Delsa.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but that is
I know
not
those
the right
lesbians so
answer.
well. You're so fake. You're so fake.
It was a tricky one, that's for sure.
I know those lesbians like the back of my hand. There's no way. Oh, her mate spirit? Am I stupid? What was... Oh. She doesn't have one? Oh, bruh. I fucking hate. I hate so much that I get confused on the... Oh,
And now,
fuck.
what is the final volume of Homestuck's print run?
That was book 4? I think there were 4 books. Book 4. No, epilogues.
Ooh, I'm
Huh?
sorry, but that is not the
There were
right
epilogue
answer.
books. This is so rigged. You got me fucked up. It was the epilogues. That was like the last one that was made in physical version.
It was a tricky one, that's for sure. Next question's a bit tricky.
I'm so mad.
What blood color is the pocket grub?
I'm telling you, I got that thing on my mind. I got that thing on my mind talking about the blood color. They fucking someone, I think it was MSP Reader that talked about it, and I think it was red. No, there's no red option. Bro. Fucking olive. Oh.
Correct. How do they do it?
Oh. What?
My dear reader,
Huh?
I'm impressed.
Eh? It was olive? Eh?
And now for our next
my God,
and
look at that
final
score.
question. Which Homestuck game is canon?
None of them! They're all fake! Oh, Namco High. Fuck.
I really thought you had it, but I guess not.
None of them are canon. They're all dubiously canon. Every single one of them.
It was a tricky one, and that is it for today. Doc,
Open
let's see how
bound?
they did. Ooh, sorry.
Bruh.
How? Now, I believe we... My dear reader,
Lick my dick. Fuck you. Hold on. I'm loading up. I'm loading up again. We're locking in.
excellent.
Yep. It's move on time. We're gonna see what happens after this. I thought it was a thing I needed to get right. Gotta go forward? Okay. Thanks a lot for not telling me that this was a forced to lose still situation. 1 second. It was pretty obvious? Bruh. Okay, sure. Smarty McSmarty Pants over here. Alright. I did not think that. I honest to God thought that I had to get it right. I shit you not. I thought there might be a moment like that. Alright, cool.
I believe we have other business to attend to.
It was not obvious to me, so you know what? You're a streamer. Fucking stupid, I guess, for not seeing the context clues, despite the fact that they told me that this time it'd be different. So, you know, fuck me, I guess. Whatever, fuck it. Stupid and idiotic, and I hate it.
I do believe that you failed to pass my test.
And I do believe that you failed to have me give a fuck.
Sadly, I cannot possibly let you leave this place.
You had a feeling this was coming. It wasn't a fair test in the first place.
I'm offended. This test was just
shoot you
as
down a
fair
hole.
as the first one, and any other test I would put before you.
Yeah, you figured. It doesn't matter. You can feel something wrapping back in on you. Well, looks like Boulder was right. Weird how that works. You always kind of figured you weren't actually done with all the meta-narrative bullshit. No rest for the friendly. That's how it goes, right?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Boulder said you'd be needing my help to look back a bunch, but she didn't say why.
Oh, so I was supposed to die to loop back. Man.
I trust her. She's nice.
She is very nice. That's my girl right there.
I think she wants to help all of us however she can. So, hold on and I'll send you back. Just keep track of your answers. I think that's Boulder's plan.
That's
here.
what I've been do- I'm so upset. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. And now I have a bunch of cookie crumbs all over my shit. I'm so upset. Yeah, they're kind of getting the sense this was why she didn't want you knowing in advance. If you didn't know, you couldn't warrant scratch, which gives you about the only advantage you're getting here. Okay, now...
Well, Doc.
That's okay. You know this part already.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Persterquest 2.
Well, now, it's just not fun anymore.
Ligma.
Now, let's get that score up on the board. Time to see.
You know, canon, post-canon, beyond. Let's just do this already.
First question. Who is Tizius's canon boy rail?
Technically, this is a fanon thing.
A brilliant answer by the genderless narrative
Thank
entity
you.
in the
Thank
black
you, Boulder.
hoodie.
Very cool.
How strange. This isn't how I foresaw this at all.
This is a good ass fucking song, by the way. Hold on.
Next question's a bit tricky. Which Homestuck character famously lost a finger?
This is a joke started by a fan. What? Really? Jake English lost a finger and that was a joke?
Answer.
How odd.
Next question's a bit tricky. What is Doc Scratch's canon catchphrase?
Seriously, this is the one.
I didn't get any of those.
Fantastic answer.
How odd.
Our next question is... How many sweeps before Homestuck does Hiveswap occur?
It's never stated. No idea.
Fantastic answer.
Fantastic.
How strange. This isn't how I foresaw this.
Did someone say fantastic?
And now for our next question. What TV show is the Lone Gunbirds a reference to?
They were characters who held Mulder and Scully. I said X-Files.
Amazing! That's correct!
How odd.
And now for our next question. Who is Stelsa's canon Moirail?
According to the good ending, MSP reader, it's me, Smile!
Correct!
It's me,
How did
Smile!
they do it?
My dear reader, are you perhaps engaging in any unsavory activity behind my back?
What makes you say that?
And now for our next question. What is Connell's Canon Lucis?
It's actually a Wolverine. None. You never actually showed this in proper canon. It's a fan game. You're so right! Oh, it's a fan game, so therefore, man, I'm gonna fucking slap the shit out of you.
My dear reader, are you perhaps engaged?
And now
Ligma.
for our next and final question.
It's a fan game. Yeah, it's a fan game when you want it to be, and a real game whenever you want it to be. Fuck you.
When did Homestuck first begin?
Fucking the Homestuck beta first appeared on 410. Oh,
Amazing! That's
that makes
correct.
sense.
How odd.
And that is it for today. Doc,
Well,
let's see
outside.
how they did. That is amazing. A perfect score.
Welcome back, side.
Interesting. Now, I believe we have other business to attend to. Well now, this is most unexpected. My dear reader, is there something you want to tell me?
What was he talking about? Didn't you finish the game? Didn't you win?
In fact, you did. Which is, interestingly, the source of my confusion. How, in fact, did you manage to win?
I thought it was fair and balanced, you round dickhead. You just answered the questions the right way. It's not like you cheated or anything, and he must have made the game winnable, right?
Actually, I never made that specific claim.
Scratch turns to Trizza, and you'd think that if he had a face, he would be scowling at her right now. Scowling at her right now.
Dear sweet heiress have anything to do with this?
The dear sweet heiress wants you to fuck off.
Real.
Now, you see, I can't have you using such foul language or plotting anything, now can I?
Why does he sound different now? Hold on, pause. Why does he sound different?
Oh, fuck you.
Trizza begins to walk forward, and you can see her eyeing the crowbar propped against the side of the room. Before she can make it even halfway, Scratch snaps his fingers Trizza's throat into the ground.
I'm sorry, but I simply cannot allow this to continue. Ms. Tethys, I must insist that you be removed from
She's
this
sort of in the
equation
background
immediately.
side, that's why. She's sort of like walking up. When people are in the background, they get fuzzier. When they get closer up, they get clearer.
After all, maintaining a proper sense of decorum is important.
You bastard! Is this enough decorum for you?
Damara, I don't recall asking you to.
Oh, double stab through the face! Hiya! Straight rose shit. Hell yeah. Cracking of electricity scouring the ozone out of the air, and you turn quickly to see Damar Megiddo launching herself halfway across the room with two wands in her hands. She fucking said, "Stinger!" She hit Scratch full force when the wands punch into the hard surface of his head as easily as if it were made of butter. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Scratch crosses the floor. You wait for something to happen. Jesus Christ! That was but nothing does. Holy fucking shit! You can't believe it. He's not moving. Scratch lies on the floor. Scratch's body lies on the floor. His cue ball head is cracked wide open, and some kind of viscous, deep green fluid leaks out onto the carpet.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's finally over. It's finally over.
You're still processing this. He's got to hold on. There's always a second act to this sort of thing. Let's calm down. This is still processing. Scratch is actually dead, and he's not moving or turning into something else or anything. Wait a minute. What about your powers? Now Scratch is dead. Maybe you'll get them back. You close your eyes and concentrate. You can just reach out and connect with everything again. Maybe. But you can't seem to feel it the way you used to.
I don't think your powers are coming back. He hit you pretty hard with that thing.
How the hell did she even know about that? Boulder winks, and you think back to the pile of papers she found down in the crawl space. Oh, she doesn't have a third eye. She just had the ability to see what you were doing via the script. Hey, speaking of that, how many more pages of that thing were there? Boulder shrugs.
It ends as soon as you step through the portal, so I guess that's it.
So we gotta step through the... Let's check the body. Well, then you guess it's time to hit that portal and get back home. How's that... Now, does anyone know how to work it?
I do. He showed me how to do it a few times, so I could perform my duties to him as his handmaid.
Well, this is the last time she'll need to do it. After that, no more handmade anything. Damara smiles at you.
Yeah, I'll go get it ready.
Where Damara leaves the room, Trizza walks over and speaks to her quietly. So quietly you can't make it out. When she does, Damara nods.
Of course. I'll tell them in a minute. I have to do this first.
Okay, cool. Time to go. You start walking towards the door, but you hear Trizza behind you.
Wait a minute. You know I'm not going with you, right?
You had a feeling that might actually be what she was going to do. As much as you want to bring Trizza back with you so she can live in safety, you have a feeling that isn't really her style.
There are people on that planet. If I can be here to help them, then I'll do it. This place, it feels like it has a strong connection to some very old power. I feel like I could learn to tap into that power someday. Do some real good for my people.
Trizza steps in and places your hand on your shoulder. You can see this concern in her eyes for everyone on Alternia.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I can figure it out. I can make a difference. Watch over them. Thank you. You saved me when you could have easily just walked away. If you're ever back on Alternia...
About that, you're pretty sure you're not going to be able to come back. Trizza smiles at you, but her eyes look sad.
It's okay. You helped me and you helped Remily. Thank you.
Oh. Trizza leans in and scoops him in a surprisingly warm hug.
Thank you. Now, you should get going. You've got a world to return to.
The parlor where you stood so many times feels strangely empty now. It feels like the ominous presence that settled over everything is finally gone. Instead, you're just standing in a musty old house. And here, at the very end, you're still asking yourself the same question. Was any of this worth it? Did you actually help anyone, or did you just make everything worse? You'd like to think that you'd helped. In the attic, Damara stands by the portal, a portal that now hums and glows with a halo of energy.
Oh, good! You're here!
Damara can pick up each of your friends from a given location, but she's going to have to do it one location at a time, then send them along to your Earth.
Alright, let's do this thing.
Also, something to be aware of.
Boulder shifts and looks at you nervously.
This is a one-way street. Getting into the locked timeline takes a lot of energy, and we're not going to be able to recalibrate the portal more than once for each group of people.
So basically, you made your bed, now you lie in it.
Our humanisms are a little silly, but yes, basically.
The thing about that is, though...
I already know. You convinced them all to support the rebellion.
Yeah, I was just about to be like, didn't we do the rebellion side, though? So how are we doing this?
You had the chance to offer them a way out, and you did something even harder.
Yeah, damn right.
You gave them hope.
Yeah. You really hope that isn't going to end up backfiring horribly, huh? Damar shrugs and smiles at you.
It's only you left now. Time to go home.
You guess it is. Feels like it's been forever since you set foot on Alternia again. You can't say that things exactly went according to plan, but you guess that ended up okay in the end. Not perfectly. You can't stop thinking about the people you couldn't save, the ones where you got back too late to do anything about.
I'm sorry. I know how it feels to not be able to save people you care about.
Is she going to be okay? Damara smiles at you and nods.
I chose this. Trizza is... I know she's a good person.
At least in this timeline, you guess.
Well, it's the one we're living in. I hope she understands how important she is. To the Alternian people. And to me.
You nod thoughtfully. And you suppose that's the last impression you're giving before you disappear. Basically, forever. You're not crying. You're definitely not crying. You turn small to Mara, who nods and returns a smile softly. And then, you walk forward into the portal. It's quiet. Quiet. And you're filled with a sense of calm. It's an experience completely unlike traveling through powers. Almost like you're in a waiting room between two realities, and this time, you're alone. You stop to think back on everything you've done, on all the lives you've touched. Maybe it started out as you fulfilling Scratch's conditions to help create his predestined world, but it ended as so much more than that. Part of you wishes you could stay behind on Alternia to help the revolution, but something in the back of your mind tells you that this would be a bad idea. You don't belong on Alternia, and there are people back on Earth who depend on you too. You did what you could to make things better, in whatever small ways, as best you could, and that's all anyone can ever expect of anyone else. But now, it's time to close the book you've been writing in, and let others pick it up. If you're being really honest with yourself, this was never your story to begin with. It's theirs. You close your eyes. and stepped towards home. Thanks for playing. Oh, it's the aftermath. Everyone, get unsad. It's the aftermath. Following the mysterious disappearance of the heiress and High Imperator, along with the arrival of the Empress in the system, the political climate begins to shift rapidly, with various factions vying to fill the void left behind. Increasingly convinced of the lies of the Alternian Empire, Gallic quietly leverages his position within the Empire to gather information and begin work on a reform party within the Empire itself. Meanwhile, Tagora slowly adjusts to his newfound position living in exile. His overall outlook has been described as, "I really miss the good coffee." Inspired by her ancestors, Stenya, Stelsa becomes more and more involved with the planning and execution of the rebels' actions against the Empire, with Tizius and Daria balancing out each other's approaches to the rebellion. The three of them quickly become a formidable team. Hell yeah. They understand the need for caution, but also the need for action, knowing when to fight and when to pick their battles. They work to establish a base of operations and carve out a place where Alternians can live freely. For Skyla, it was always about principles. For Connell and Astasia, it's more about seeing the winds of change blowing all across the Alternian Empire. But whatever the reason, these three are committed to hurting the Empire however they can. They work as freelancers, working for anyone who wants to take down the Alternian Empire. One day, a strike mission for the rebels, the next, a covert op for the budding reform government. Face, you came back at the last moments of this game. Welcome back. Rumors quickly build of a group of nearly unstoppable mercs who were willing to face the Empire head-on and win. With Ardata gone and the lie of his position on satellite whatever reveals, Sarava moves to the other work for the rebels. Together with Marcy, he begins working. Wait. What the fuck? It's they! They fucking misgendered Sarava! What the fuck? Bro! At the end of it all, you motherfuckers couldn't do one last check? Are you kidding me? What a fuck up! Really? At the fucking final hour, you motherfuckers misgendered like fucking they, them friend? I'm gonna shit. Is Transmass Marcy? I don't want that. Yeah, fan game today takes a lot with this fandom. That's true. Working to establish a planet-wide communication network to aid the revolution, spreading information propaganda. It's grueling work that often goes unseen, but it's important. And he and Marcy. They just consistently. It wasn't even one fuck up. They keep calling Sarava he. So they just didn't. They just decided they didn't give a shit anymore. I guess they just decided they don't care. We're at the very end of it. Fuck it, churn it out. Studio June, what the fuck? I expected better from you, especially with representation. What the fuck? Come on. Really? Bruh. Cringe, -2, unbased, you know. Could have done better. 0, fucking 1 out of 10. At least Boulder's still there. What the fuck? That's my friend. I always knew. Marcy understand how controlling the flow of information can be. We're just gonna. It would be narratively appealing to claim that Ardata died as she lived, but that isn't true, is it? The Cerulean died alone and unwarned in a burned-out tower on an artificial world dedicated to the Empire's cruelty, a fitting end, if not especially poetic. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck 'em. Tired of sitting and waiting for their fate to come to meet them, Lonk and Wan Shi began to use their creativity and skill in improvisation to help the rebels gather and spread information. Before long, they find themselves in the hub of a network that spans the planet. Jade Bloods in the caverns and Rust Bloods in the cities, even High Bloods who've grown dissatisfied with the Empire's lies. Saving her? What, you're saving Ardata? Who died? Fuck her. She was awful. Until the very end, she's like, fuck it. Lonk, the Lonkster. How was going to set up the Empire's lies. Together they work to help monitor the Empire and provide aid for those who want to evade its clutches, even if for only one day more. With the combined efforts of the Jade Bloods of the Caverns and the Rebels, Alternia's Free Cavern soon became the first of many. Rebels worked to liberate Jade Bloods, destroy drones, and break the Empire's ability to directly feed recruitment. Soon, a network of Free Caverns stretches all over the planet, with a dedicated group of Jade Bloods working tirelessly to protect it. In the original Free Cavern, Linera and Bronya continue to tend to the grubs and teach the Wigglers, and Daria works with her Moira Tizzies to plan the next phases of the Alternia Revolution. In my world, Boulder and Ardata kiss, and Ardata gets a redemption arc. I really wish she would have, honestly, but they just sort of kept her super Omega evil instead of giving her at least something, which is unfortunate. Hell yeah. Free from the extortion of her former manager and aided by the rebels, Trixie returns to her protest music in full force, but now she's got some help. That's my boy! I hope the Wigglers could have gone. They should. That's my boy! That's my Zephyros! Ardata could have done something. Yeah. They did give her something. Yeah, they tried to. I wanted to go the revolution route instead of the fuck off and leave route. And I think if you do the fuck off and leave route, she lives. You just have to not kill her. So what? Oh, okay. So I fucked up. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, fuck Ardata. I don't personally care for her. If you do, that's great, but whatever. If she's the main piece to all this, then I'll say big fucking whoopsie to me. You know? If it turns out because I was in the moment, you cannot kill and still do revolution, that's true. But if this overall change, hold up. Because if this ends up changing the outcome, because Ardata is not around, I'm gonna shit myself senseless. Now she's got some help. Together, she and Zephyros speak out against Alternian establishment, all while staying one step ahead of the Legis Corpus. The remaining members of Daria's punk band join them sometimes, all working together to spread the message of the rebellion to every corner of the occupied galaxy. Haha. Zebra remains on Alternia, forever locked in a prison of his own making. Unable to exert control over Trixie's career without risking his own culling, he continues to simply exist. He will never be free, because to truly be free, one has to let go of their desire to control others, something he can never bring himself to do. Elward is still trying to figure out who she is and what her place is in the world. She continues to travel Alternia, looking for some way to escape, even if it's only for a few minutes at a time. That's kind of unfortunate, though, if you think about it. Cause, like, that's kind of a shitty end for Elward, right? All of that, and she's just sort of constantly a wandering vagrant. That kind of sucks. I feel like she should have found some peace, but we never got the chance to. Every single time we tried to help her out, she's like, nah, fuck it. I've made this bed and I'll lie in it. Whatever. Zebra. Or, I mean, Amicia. It's not clear if Amicia is an enthusiastic supporter of the rebellion or simply an enthusiastic hater of the Empire. In the end, maybe it doesn't really matter. Either way, they continue to stalk the city, clearing a path through the Legis Corpus and giving the rebels some room to breathe. Fair enough. The good ending for her was the part where you get her with Trixie and Trixie's volume. Okay. But what happened to Torona? It's the fucking meme. It's the meme. It's the fucking meme of the child grinning at the burning building. Oh, that's funny. In the end, nothing really stays the same. Torana's increasingly blatant Imperial propaganda angers the anti-Imperial contingent in the city of Everdim to the point where they storm her offices fully intending to kill her. But Torana is nothing if not resourceful, and she slips away in the chaos. She survives on the run from Empire and the rebels alike, betrayed by the people that she once worked so hard to glorify. Even every revolution encounters setbacks, and this is no exception. Having recovered so much high-quality equipment from the fleet depot, Pulpa, Tagiri, and Malik all set their sights on finding a new secure hideout and beginning their mission once again. Finally, they find the perfect place, an abandoned industrial site nestled in the middle of a major city, with plenty of bolt holes and escape routes, and quickly becomes the state-of-the-art base that they can use to strike at the heart of the Empire. Hell yeah. The Imperial soldiers stationed throughout the Empire tell stories of the nameless warship, the ghost of the Alternian light cruise that doesn't exist on any registry or fleet anywhere. It appears out of nowhere to strike, to take revenge for the sins of the Empire and vanish into the pathways of super light. That's sick. Crewed by no one, or at least no one as far as the Empire is concerned, but the rebels, who've been saved by that warship countless times know better. At the end of the day, there are a few things more terrifying than a pair of pissed off gold bloods with an Imperial warship at their disposal. Real. Diamond and Foster work together to spread the message of communalism, giving so many of the rebels a solid political philosophy to underpin their hatred for the Empire. After all, what good is hate if it isn't backed up by the desire to create something new? Charun remains on the Spirulita, keeping their head down and weathering the changes on the ship. See, they did the same. They did the day with Charun. Oh, I guess you motherfuckers just don't like Sarava. I'll drop it. Fuck it. So you have to continue past other crew members come and go. Sometimes they wish that they decided to go with their friends into the unknown or of the rebellion, if only to keep from being so painfully lonely. That really is a shame. I feel like I could have done more with Sarava. Not Sarava, of Charun. I feel bad, but I feel like there wasn't much anything I could do, you know? Like, I think this was pretty much it. It was either do this. It's the little autism guy. Oh my god. It's the little yippee. Poor Charn. I'm sorry, bud. That sucks. If Marvis Zolto was one of the Empire's greatest assets before, he's become one of their biggest threats. Free of the influence of the tentacle and the threat of extermination, Marvis turns his attention to the populace at large. Instead of parroting what the Condesce and the Imperator tell him and trying to subtly undermine, he now speaks the message of righteous rebellion plain as night. All around Alternia and on countless colony worlds all over the galaxy, his broadcasts bring hope and inspire citizens of the Empire to break the shackles that bind them and rise up against the powers that be. Hell yeah. After hearing the voice of Glib Glib with her own ears, Chowhut's faith in the Mirthful Messiahs was only strengthened and deepened. She turned to the question of how Glib Glib might fit into her view of the world. Along with her mate spirit, the person who was made up from this point alone, she began to comb through the records stored on the Spirulita, piecing together the long-forgotten history of the Mirthful Ones, the Purple Bloods, and their place in Alternian society. As Marvis helps bring the message of the rebellion to the Eternian people, Child's works to keep their traditions alive, to make sure they have something worth fighting for. Oh my god, is that a little... Is that fucking... Who... What? Is that baby Bronya? Is that little Braun? Strava got so high they forgot their pronouns. Fucking what? Why is there a baby Bronya here? Unless this is just Bronya, in which case, why is she so small? Why is she so small, bro? With Glib Glib no longer being used to enforce a parasitic vision onto the residents of the Spirulita, they begin to rebuild the Carnival as a symbol of defiance against the Empire and everything it stands for. No longer isolated behind the walls the Empire built, Caracal, Barazum, and Bazil begin to find a place for themselves. And in time, they will find a way to heal from all that they've been forced to endure. Hell yeah. Persterquest? Ramelli came down from Trizza's tower a changed woman, no longer content to sit back and reap the benefits of the Empire. She looks for ways to use her skills against the Empire that took everything away from her. She's become well established as a popular revolutionary artist, the cerulean who was willing to give up her position and actually listen to the lowbloods around her. Those who knew of her career before often wonder what changed, how someone so arrogant could become genuinely invested in the revolution. But those few of them that get to know her well might get to hear the story about how the tower at the end of the world and how it changed her life forever. The winds of change are blowing across the Empire, whipped into a storm that tears down everything and builds it up anew, and in the middle of it all, some people are just trying to find their place. Vicari keeps flying for the Empire, but ends up crash-landed on a rebel-occupied colony world during a routine transport mission. If nothing else, it gives them plenty of time to think. And there, temporarily stranded on land once more. 2-hour stream, almost 3-hour stream. He begins to wonder if maybe his strange friend from all those soups ago had a point, and somewhere deep inside a spark of lights. Sebede keeps working for the rebels, moving supplies and smuggling people from one part of the Empire to another. He's convinced that someone's watching over the rebels now and keeping them safe, and maybe he's right. Whatever happens, he knows that he isn't alone in this fight, and that keeps him going, and every day he sees the ranks of the rebels grow as more and more people defect to fight the oppressors. After all, with the heiress herself on their side, how could they possibly lose? Why do you say these things? Together, Trizza, Boulder, and Damara dedicate themselves to unlocking the secrets of Scratch's mansion, in preparation for the inevitable conflict with the Empress in this new iteration of the main timeline. It's a difficult task, stretching all three of their understanding nearly to the absolute limit, but it's worth it. To be there to watch over Alternia and help to guide it into a better future, one where no one will ever be subjugated by anyone else. Sometimes, when the nights are long and quiet, the three of them sit together and talk quietly about the past and the future. Hell yeah. That's my... Well, what about you? What about me? I'm some schmuck sitting around doing nothing. Years in the future, but not many. Okay. Years pass on Earth, and you've never had a loss for things to do with your time. All the changes you made when you still had your powers. Oh. My eyes! All the changes you made when you still had your powers, those are precious things that require a lot of effort to maintain. And you've started to understand that your place in all this is to be there to support the people. It's to support the people. Support the people. Support the people you care about. To let them work to make the world a better place and be there in the way you're best at. As a friend. And still, you find yourself feeling a certain stab of loneliness inside of you. You miss your friends back on Alternia. Of course. You don't feel like you abandoned them this time, but you can't help but feel a stab of selfishness. They really didn't autocorrect. They didn't. They said, put it out, ship it out. Fuck it, we don't care. But you can't help but feel that stab of selfishness, the desire to see them again, not because it benefits anyone, but just because you want to see them again.
I don't think that makes you selfish.
Damara. Damn! Question. 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 And don't harm me for this. Genuine question. How old? Because depending... No? Fuck off. Because... What are you on? Come on, bro. Sure thing, imaginary version of Damara. Why does your brain's version of Damara look like she's like 19 anyway? Okay. I mean, it's still kind of weird, but... Alright, I won't say anything. I won't say anything. I'll shut the fuck up. I'll let my brain stew in it. I'll hold off. I'll hold off. I can't be making these comments, not this late at night.
Because I am 19.
Wait a minute, this isn't your imagination? Damara grins and shakes her head.
Nope. Turns out, well, it's a long story. I'm still here on the Green Moon, but let's just say that the walls are pretty thin here.
Can she answer your question then? Does wanting to check in on your friends still make you a bad person?
No, I think it just makes you a person. You care about your friends. You did what was right by them, but you still miss them. I understand how it feels to miss people you care about.
Well, it's all kind of an intellectual exercise at this point. Anyway, after all, you're safely tucked away back in the locked timeline. There's basically nothing you can do about it. For a long time, Damara's quiet.
What if I told you there might be another way?
What? What the hell is she talking about? The portal. It was a one-way trip. No take-backs. No takesy-backsies. Once again, Damara's quiet.
So that might not be entirely true.
Huh?
Turns out that being Scratch's apprentice for so long had some
Friendsim
unintended side effects.
As you sit and think about what she's saying, the world around you roars in its silence. Your thoughts reach out and pull away all at once, turning in on themselves in an infinite loop. As you arrive at a conclusion, you knew that it was there all along. Is she saying that she can send you back? That she can help you visit Alternia again? That you can know for sure that you didn't promise your friends a false hope?
Would you like to?
Ooh, That's a good question. Am I allowed to answer? No. Yeah, MSP Reader answers for me. Fuck yeah, I would. Blood's Apprentice. You chose Revolution in Volume 14. Hell yeah. Woo! Made a choice. We made a choice. W choice. The white screen. Let's go. Poggers. Yeah. That's it. That's Friendsim 2. Woo. Minus the fact that you motherfuckers can't get an autocorrect for shit. Yeah, and also the fucking Purple Bloods were kind of huge amounts of pandering and may also be slightly racially motivated. But yeah, I'm being harsh. I'm being harsh when it's at the end. Huzzah, we did it. Hell yeah, the art was usually pretty good. Now in Pog form. Hell yeah. You didn't think this would be a 3-hour stream now, did you? This will more than likely be cut up into 3 parts. Imagine getting an update for an epilogue. 19 tomorrow. Yeah. Bro. Absolutely. I never met a non-clown Purple Blood. Yeah. Well, you're looking at him. You're looking at him, baby. Yeah, the problem with how people think, well, we don't have any other means of seeing how Purple Bloods would be if they weren't clown cults. So, that's all we know, so that's all that we'll write. You motherfuckers don't have the ability of imagination. So, you know. Well, that was fun. That was fun. I'm glad for this. Yes, good job. Yeah, so many long hours and not a single hour. And not a single hour put into a fucking thing. Into a fucking autocorrect. Anyway. Skim through then. Thank you to his fans. See y'all in the next game. I hope that y'all do a better job. Anyway. Yeah. Woo. I will indeed save. Am I going to? What do you mean? Close. Thank you for playing. We are at Studio June. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope to see you next time. That's that. That's it. Am I gonna clip farm with this stream? I don't know what the fuck clip farming is. I'm a bad streamer. I don't know how to clip farm. Unless you mean like over exaggerate and then take that and clip it. In which case, no. I mean, maybe I'll do like, I'll make clips and put them out like bits and pieces, and I'll also do like I did with my other Persterquest 2 stuff. Get the best moments, bruh. Like, I don't know what my best moments are, like, at all. What are my best moments? You know what I mean? But anyway, let me end off on the recording, and I'll stick around. I'll be sticking around even after I do the outro, so make them shorts. That would be a good idea. Problem with shorts is I don't know how to fit this entire thing. I don't know how to make like this entire thing into like a small condensed short. You know what I mean? If people have ideas, I'm fully willing to hear them. Like, honestly. Because I don't know how to do it. This is loud as shit. Yeah, I don't know how to make those. So, it was all universally best. It was all universally best moment. I will probably make one of that since it's a lot further in of this 3+ hour video recording that I'm doing. It's probably would be a good idea to do that. Anyway, let me do an outro real quick and then I'll talk to y'all some more before I leave out for the day. Yo guys, anyway, this was actually pretty fun. Overall, if I were to do a slapdash like rating of the like a numbered rating on Friendsim 2, I'd probably give it a solid like 7 out of 10. See you, Eric. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Just, you know, it was good. There were parts where it could be better, but overall, I enjoyed what it did. I enjoyed what it would do. But, you know, not bad. Anyways, y'all, thank you for all of this. Legitimately, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for keeping with it. For those of you who were here since the beginning, both on the stream, for all y'all on the stream, as well as the ones who have been with me since the first Friendsim 2 video. I appreciate you all greatly. I'm so appreciative that you have stuck with me for this long, if you have. And if you like all my other stuff, then, you know, stick around. I'll have more for you. Until then, have a good day, night, evening, twilight, wherever it be, wherever you are. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Deuces.